Hello. Hello.
You have joined the call. There are two other people in the call. Your camera is on. Your
Good
mic
afternoon, sir. Namaskar. Sir, namaskar.
control. Namaskar, your microphone is on.
Sir, ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିଦବା?
Yes, yes, you can start.
ଆଜ୍ଞା, ଠିକ ଅଛି sir. ଠିକ
Alert,
ଅଛି.
live cat.
So, you see, yesterday in the block 1 of the chapter of the paper, about the Dalit philosophy, we have already discussed about a brief introduction about who is Dalit and how they are the aboriginals of the subcontinent or of our soil, Indian soil, and how gradually the Aryans they came to India as the invaders or because of their nomadic lifestyle, whatever it may be, but gradually they want to impose certain things on the aboriginals, on the original inhabitant of India, whom we call as Dalit. Okay, so today we'll discuss about the religious background of the Dalit philosophy, or how the Dalit philosophy is, whether it is influenced or it is not at all influenced by the by different religions of India. Okay, so here I want to make a distinction between what is called religion and what do we mean by religiosity. Okay, so here the distinction we have to make between what is between religion and religiosity. So you see, when we talk about religion, by religion we always understand that it is an attitude, or you can say that it is a way of life, the very accommodative way of understanding what religion is all about. You can say that it is a way of life. Okay, how you live, what you live for, that you can say, that you can term as your religion. So we see that there are, particularly I am talking about India, particularly in India, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we see that there are different religions are practiced by different people, or you can say that there are different sets of religions we do talk of. Okay, so if there are the different religions, so definitely there is religious conflict will be there, and there is the possibility of inter-religious dialogue will be there. So but basically you see, when this is all about religion, I am not going deep into it. But when we talk about religiosity, religiosity refers to a particular type of strong feeling towards a particular religion. So it is, you can say, by religiosity we understand that it is some sort of a intense feeling, you can say intense feeling, or a strong feeling towards a particular religion, that we call as religiosity. Okay, but when we talk about the influence upon the different religions upon the lifestyle of the Dalit people, upon the livings of the Dalit people, so definitely there will be an identity crisis. Actually, the question definitely that will strike to their mind, because they are humans also. So it is what we are, what is our identity, whether they are, because you see, when we talk about identity of the Dalit, or we talk about you can define that it is a new identity crisis, or when they are undergoing the different forms of religious identity crisis. So definitely it is, it is pointing to it is pointing to something that is, you can say, domination and subordination. So you see, when the Aryans they came and they see that they are, it is not the case that Aryans came with tabula rasa, having no idea. No, it's not like that. They have some sort of religious practices, belief patterns, belief systems. They came with that. And when they see that their religious patterns, their religious ideology, their religious worldview, it differs from the worldview of the Aboriginals, so they wanted to impose their views upon the Aboriginals. And they just tried to enslave the Aboriginals, whom you nowadays or in the current moment, whom we say as the Dalits. So there is why there is identity crisis, and they are looking for in their own new identities because of the domination and because of the subordination. So there is the Aryans, or you can say the invaders. They wanted to subordinate the Dalits, the Aboriginals, the original inhabitants of India, and they want to dominate over them. So definitely, this is so definitely the Dalits they have undergone a particular a peculiar type of struggle, you can say, and they resist that pervades all the dimensions of Dalit existence, and even their religiosity is also it also undergoes different forms of different phases of struggle. So, when we talk about this, particularly when we try to understand what is the philosophy of Dalit and from the religious perspective, you know, we see that when we look back at a moment of history, you can say, you know that these Dalits, they may appear to embrace a particular belief system and rituals of the dominant because of the, because of the amalgamation, or you can say because of the cultural exchange, and because they are Aryan people, they want to dominate over them. So at a particular moment in the history, you can see that the Dalits, they may appear to embrace the belief systems and the rituals of the dominant class or of the Aryans. Again, it at a different point in history, you can see that even they might set aside the same. But you see, interestingly, you can see the Dalit ways of opting for temporary or permanent inclusion or exclusion of the great traditions have the ultimate agenda only to build a larger human community with a sense of egalitarianism. So basically, their purpose, yesterday I have already told you, they believe in an egalitarian community where there is nobody is belong to a low status, nothing is higher, nothing is lower. They believe in a egalitarian community, and because of that egalitarian community, you see, so that is why we are talking of Dalit, and the Dalits, they are demanding for a new identity. So they demand for a new identity of their own. So in the in the Dalit agenda, there is always an integral there is an integral liberation, because the Dalits, they never demand for any power. So power play, interplay of the powers, that you cannot see in the Dalit community. Though there is a resources, regarding the resources, ସକାଳେ regarding the କିଏ କାଲି ସକାଳେ ମୁଁ ତ So you see, so regarding the Dalit, you can talk about the Dalit, and when we talk about the Dalit regarding the power and the resource management, regarding they have no power play concept is never with them, but they are when yesterday also I have told you how very evenly they distribute the natural resources. କାରଣ ଯଦି ଜଣେ ଗୋଟେ natural resource ପାଇଛି, you talk about honey, you talk about arrowroot, you talk about any other natural resource, they never exhaust it completely because they are abided by some ethics, you can say some code of conduct, that they do not believe in the complete exhaustion of the natural resources. Rather they very evenly distribute the things. Suppose ଜଣେ ଗୋଟେ ପାଇଲା, ସେ କ'ଣ କରିବ, ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଗୋଟେ ଗଛର ଫ୍ରେଶ୍ ଡାଳକୁ କାଟିକି ସେଠି ପକେଇଦେବ। ଆଉ ଜଣେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଣ୍ଟ୍ରି କରିବ, ସେ ଜାଣିବ ଯେ କିଏ କିଛି ପାଇଛି, ସେତେବେଳେ ଆଗକୁ ଯିବ। କିନ୍ତୁ ୟୁ ସି ଇନ୍ ଦ, ଆଇ ହାଭ୍ ଅଲରେଡ଼ି ଟୋଲ୍ଡ ୟୁ, ଇନ୍ ଦ ନନ୍ ଦଲିତ କଲଚର ୟୁ ସି, ଯଦି ଜଣେ ପାଇଛି ଆଉ ଜଣେ କ'ଣ କରିବ, ଯିବ ତାକୁ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟଲି ତାର ମୂଳ ଗଛ ସବୁ ଯାହା ପାରିବ ନେଇକି ପଳେଇ ଆସିବ। ବଟ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ethics they never practice. So you can say that, but because of that good ideology, you can say, because of that ideology, no doubt they are struggling and they are dominated, they are subordinated, they are subjugated. So we clearly make a distinction. We say that we are non-Dalit and they are Dalit. So still they are also there. They are struggling for that. There is no doubt about it. But when you look at it from the human dignity perspective or human dignity lens, you can say that the, or even you look at it from the caste system, because they are demanding for the annihilation of the caste system, because for them there is no one is higher or no one is lower. And you see, they always believe in a egalitarian community, you can say. So they build a new human family. In that way you can say that they are, their aim is to build a, their aim is to create a new identity, a new human family, in which there will be no trace of any discrimination, or you can talk about any hierarchy consciousness will not be, you will never find out in that community. So this is why we are talking, we are looking at the very Dalit philosophy in a new perspective, or you can say that we try to interfere and we try to interpret their philosophy from a new lens. In that way, you can say. So when we talk about the Dalit, and we must go back to the belief systems of the Dalit world, and there you can see that Dalit people, or they create, particularly they give importance on a socio-cultural location. Okay, so they are very socially, because you see in non-Dalit culture they are very much individualistic. But you see, on the other hand, in the Dalit culture, we see that they always love to live in a community. They have a very, they do not have that I concept. They always have that we concept. So when we look at their belief systems of the Dalit world, we see that Dalit location, it is a very complex hybrid of intertextual worlds, you can say, and they are comprised of textures interwoven with traditions, oral, written, celluloid, and electronic. Okay, so when we talk about their belief systems, you know that all the mixtures that you can find out there, either you can say that oral ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ଆର୍ ଦେୟାର, ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରାଇବାଲ କମ୍ୟୁନିଟିର ଯେଉଁ ଦିଶାରୀ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯାଏ, ପୂଜକ, ସେ କ'ଣ କରେ ଯେ ମାନେ ତା ସେ ଯାହା କହିବ ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ତମକୁ ଓରାଲି କହିବ। ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନଟ୍ ଫାଇଣ୍ଡ ଆଉଟ୍ ଆଜ୍ ୱି ଫାଇଣ୍ଡ ଦ, ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ, ଆପଣ 26 ରେ 25th ରେ ଫ୍ରି ଅଛନ୍ତି?
କୋଉ ଦିନ ସାର୍?
25th 25
25 ତାରିଖ ସାର୍, 25 ତାରିଖ ପରେ ମୋର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଛି।
ଆପଣ 25 ରେ ଅଛି କି?
ହଁ 25 ରେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଛି ନା ମୋର।
ଓକେ, କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ।
ଓକେ ଓକେ ସାର୍। So you see, as you see in the non-Dalit culture, we can find very good text like Bhagavad Gita. You can find out the text, scriptures, many scriptures, many moral books like this. But that we cannot find out in case of a Dalit culture. Because, oh, but that does not mean that they are not taught something that is called good, something that is called moral. So that is all taught from very early stage, and that is taught to them only through orally, or you can say that by some constructive or productive work. Because we know a child learns from not what we say, rather from what we do. ଆମେ ଯାହା କରୁଛେ ସେଇଟାରୁ ପିଲା ଶିଖିବ। ତେଣୁକରି ସେମାନେ ସେମିତି ଦଲିତ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର କମ୍ୟୁନିଟିରେ ଦେ ଜଷ୍ଟ focus more and more on constructive and productive work. So from that only the next generation, the second generation, the or you can say the children, they learn from that. So they have no, everything is not documented there. You cannot find out like this. So you can say that there are, you know, there are spontaneous stories, and there are linguistic expressions, there are body languages, there are ritual practices and aesthetic options. Even the in my previous class I have already told you, the Dalit woman, when she will go to the field, while working in the field, ତାକୁ suppose ସେ ଯେଉଁ ମହାଜନ ଯିଏ ଥିବ ତାର ମାଷ୍ଟର you can say, ସେ ତାକୁ ଯାହା ମାନେ ଶୋଷଣ କରିଥିବ, ଯୋଉଟା ସିଏ ଆପ୍ରିସିଏଟ୍ କରିପାରୁନ, ସେ ତାକୁ ଗୀତ ଆକାରରେ ସେଠି କାମ କରୁଥିବ, ତାକୁ ଗୀତ ଆକାରରେ ଗାଇ ଦେଉଥିବ। that is their practices. So you can say that through spontaneous stories, you can say, or even linguistic expressions or body language, or you can say the ritual practices, they express their you can say the teaching or that they learned, they express through these mediums only. So again, yesterday I have also made a broad distinction, while making a broad distinction between Dalit and non-Dalit. I have told you that they are very much internal, and the culture is very much internal, and the non-Dalit culture is very much external. That on that point I have also make a distinction there only. So you can say, because their culture is internal, so you can, in that way you can say that their inner world, it is a unified mix up, a constantly in the making with multiple process of interactions between identities imposed from outside and emerging from within. So there is a constant interplay, you can say, between the intrasubjective and the intersubjective aspects of their life, between the explicit and the implicit dimensions of their conflicting consciousness, makes the interpretation of Dalit religious expressions all the more a challenging task. So there is a constant conflict, you can say, that the constant conflict between the intrasubjective, ନିଜ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ଦ୍ୱନ୍ଦ୍ୱରେ ସେ ଚାଲୁଛି, and the intersubjective aspects of their life, and because of the explicit and the implicit dimensions of their conflicting consciousness. So therefore you can say it is high time that the Dalit religious expressions, because you cannot say that there is a particular Dalit religion as such, we do not find. So that religious expressions, you can say, it is to be interpreted, and it is a very challenging task for all of us. So before going to the belief system and the rituals of the Dalits, you can say the Dalits, they have experienced the marginalization and the marginalization, or you can talk about ଯେ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯେଉଁ ସେଗ୍ରିଗେଟ୍ କରାହେଇଯାଉଛି, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସକ୍ଲୁଡ୍ କରାହେଉଛି, that they have realized, and we can discuss a little bit about that. So segregation of the living locations and burial grounds ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ religious କୁ ବୁଝିବାକୁ ହେଲେ next unit ମୁଁ ସେଟାକୁ details ରେ ପଢ଼େଇବି ତାଙ୍କର life ତାଙ୍କର death ତାଙ୍କର କେମିତି how four things they marriage they celebrate with a very pomp and show ମାନେ ବହୁତ ତାକୁ ଭଲରେ ସେମାନେ celebrate କରନ୍ତି so basically so they make a they very clearly make a demarcation between their living locations and their burial grounds okay जोटी मनीषटा माने एमती भी बहुत अच्छी जोटी कि ସେମାନେ कौन करती ताको मनीषटा को जाकि आमर यूजुअल जने मरीगले ताको कौन करा होची ताको पोड़ी दिया होची इवन भी ସେମାନେ भी एते सैक्रिफाइसिंग ସେମାନେ कहते जे किछि एनिमल्स अच्छी जे कि कौन करिवो माने किछि दिन तो खाई कि बंची जीवो तेणु ସେମାନେ ताको कौन करेंगे नहीं कि गोटे जंगल भितर गोटे गच्छरे ताको कौन करेंगे नहीं कि ताको सीधा स्टैंडिंग पोजीशन रे ठिया कर देबे जो एनिमल माने खाउथिबे से माने कौन करेंगे जो एनिमल माने तां खाउथिबे से माने ताको खाई कि एटलीस्ट किछि दिन बंची जीव बोली भाबंती सो दिस इज वन टाइप ऑफ आइडियोलॉजी so you see so usually they make a very clear cut distinction between their living locations and their burial grounds जोटा को आमे कहूचे तांकर घर एगुड़ाक आउ तांकर जो मशाणी पदा से दुईटा बहुत माने clearly it is demarcated and it is segregated second one is that they they are dignified so they are you can say they have received so far they have received a very stepmotherly treatment you can say stepmotherly treatment regarding their participation in public events social activities community worship or even governing institutions you see we take decisions for them without their presence this is irony of the situations you can say बहुत दुखर कथा अनफॉर्चुनेट थिंग सी कोथरे कंफर्टेबल आमे ताको पचारू नाही किंतु तापय आमे कोन करछे डिसिजंस नै जाउछे so there must be so here I want to say that equal representation from their community should be while making policies for them while taking certain decisions for them and so they are usually we are discussing about religion a little bit so here I should not go out of the boundary and I say that their participation that is and they are treated stepmotherly in the public events social activities community worship governing institutions that we see and there are many stories that you know दासिया बाउरी कथा जो आमर संस्कृति रे आमे पढ़िचे he is not allowed to enter into the room जोथिपाई कि enter into the sanctum सेथिपाई कि भगवान निजे बाहर को बाहरी असले that story is there you know because they were not treated at par with the high caste group of people in the social structure that you know so even you know there is in their community they have they are they very celebrate four things in their life that is you know that is their one is birth life means birth another one is marriage because procreation they give much more importance on procreation so that the race will continue and another one is the death even because they believe in death as the only this life is the only life so death is nothing but the end of everything so they also celebrate it with pomp and show in the procession heki jay so again you can see um, of the there is also when we look at it from the other lens from the non-dalit lens we see that there is also indifference and even opposition towards promotion of vocations to dignified services at the civil level even at sacred premises of the worshipping place so the thereby you can say by again practicing this we are perpetuating or we are promoting the caste systems. So there is, so this is how they are subjected to become to to be excluded from the mainstream. Okay, so again we talk of the that yesterday I have already told you ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ଅଛୁତ ବୋଲି କହୁ, ଅସ୍ପୃଶ୍ୟ ବୋଲି କହୁ, ଅସୁର ବୋଲି ବି ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରାଯାଇଛି। ଇଭିନ୍ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଅନଟଚେବୁଲ ବୋଲି କୁହାହଉଛି, ଯାହାକୁ କି ମହାତ୍ମା ଗାନ୍ଧୀ ପରେ କହିଲେ ଯେ ନାଇଁ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ହରିଜନ ବୋଲି କହିବା, ବିକଜ ଦେ ଆର୍ ଦ ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଗଡ୍, ହରିଙ୍କର ଜନ। କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟ କରୁନଥିଲେ, ଦେ ପ୍ରିଫର ଟୁ ବି ନେମ୍ଡ ଆଜ୍ ଦଲିତ, that you know. So the Dalits, they are subjected to lots of suffering. Okay, so they are subjected to different forms of suffering, you can say. uh, in one way we will discuss this in different points. You can say that the they are, we do not treat them as par with the non-Dalit community, their dignity, because everyone, you know, they have a dignity, human dignity is a value, we say. So the damage of the human dignity, you can say, with arbitrary attribution of permanent pollution as untouchables due to the practice of caste hierarchy. Caste hierarchy ଟା ଆସିଲା କୋଉଠୁ? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆରିୟନ ମାନେ ଆସିଲେ ଆଉ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଭାରତରେ ସେମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଭାରତ ଭିତରକୁ ଏଣ୍ଟ୍ରି କଲେ ଆଉ ଦେଖିଲେ ସେଠି କିଛି ଅରିଜିନାଲ ଇନହାବିଟାଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କର ଡାର୍କ ସ୍କିନ୍, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନେ ଡୋମିନେଟ୍ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁଲେ। ସେତେବେଳେ କ'ଣ କଲେ, ସେମାନେ କହିଲେ ୱି ଆର୍ ହାୟର ଆଣ୍ଡ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଲୋ। ସେଇଠୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଲା ଡିସ୍କ୍ରିମିନେସନ୍। ଗ୍ରାଜୁଆଲି ଇଟ୍ ଟେକ୍ସ ଦ ସେପ୍ ଅଫ୍ କାଷ୍ଟ ହାଇରାର୍କି। କାଷ୍ଟ କଥା ପଢ଼ିଲା ବେଳକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ, କ୍ଷତ୍ରିୟ, ବୈଶ୍ୟ, ଶୂଦ୍ର, କେତେ କେତେ ପ୍ରକାର କଥା କହୁଛେ। ଆଉ ସବୁଠୁ ତଳେ କାହାକୁ ରଖିଛେ ନା ଦଲିତକୁ ରଖିଛେ। ସୋ ଦଲିତ ବି ଗୋଟେ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ବିଙ୍ଗ, ତାର ବି ଗୋଟେ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ଡିଗ୍ନିଟି ଅଛି। So when because of that caste hierarchy, caste structure in the society, so you know they lose their dignity, human dignity, and it creates a permanent pollution in the social structure. Okay, so again you can say that the inner conflicts between the personal desire for equal placement with others and the impersonal duty of being reduced to be lesser humans in the socio-political ladders. ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ବି ଗୋଟେ desire ରହିଲା, personal desire, that they will also reach to the in placement wise they will have equal placement with others, and that will also, so they will if they will go to that path then they may be treated equally. So that also creates an inferiority within themselves. So again the conflicting expressions of the explicit consciousness, the immediate agenda for all the tribals, all the Dalits, tribal I should not say, Dalits, is the immediate survival and the sustaining passion. At the same time, you see the sustaining passion for collective human identity, or you can say implicit consciousness. ମୁଁ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ ମୂଳରୁ କହିଛି ଦଲିତ ମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ କି there is no I concept. There is only one concept, that is the we concept is there. But because of poverty, you know, or there is, and because of poverty or because of some immediate need, they have to, so there is a conflict, you know, that we see there is an conflict between the explicit consciousness and the implicit consciousness. So what is the explicit consciousness here? ନା ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ immediate agenda for survival, that is the explicit consciousness. Implicit consciousness କ'ଣ ନା ଗୋଟେ collective living, that is the implicit consciousness. ଯଦି ସେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ତାର ସବୁ ଦେଇ ଚାଲିବ ତେଣୁକରି ସିଏ ଫାଇନାଲି he may lose his life. So there is always, you can find out a tussle between the explicit consciousness and the implicit consciousness because of poverty and other reasons that you know. So, similarly, you see, when multiple forms of day to day socio psychological, or you can say political and physiological violence, they are trivialized by uh, naturalization or even legitimization by the media, bureaucracy, judiciary. Even yesterday, I have already told you one story that what is the indigenous practice by the Dalit, they never come forward and share with the media. So, but you know, after so many, the story that I have told you, the Australian scientist was କହିଲେ ଯେ ଜଳା ପୋଡ଼ା ହେଇଗଲେ ତମେ ର ହନି ଲଗେଇଦେଲେ ଭଲ ହେଇଯିବ, ଇମ୍ପିଓର ଯୋଉଟା ପ୍ୟୁରିଫାଇଡ୍ ହେଇନଥିବ ଲଗେଇଲେ ଭଲ ହେଇଯିବ। କିନ୍ତୁ that was an age old practice in the tribal community, in the Dalit community. So you see, they are in that way, we have to understand that they are media shy people. And you know, another thing that I must share with you, because of you know, there is a what is that? There is a company sets ଆମର जो कौन सा जगह जोठी सेटअप ହେଇଛି ଗୋଟେ कंपनी मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी, आई थिंक सम अग्रवाल जो सेटअप କରିଛନ୍ତି हे ସେଥିରେ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ दैट इज अफेक्टिंग द नियर बाय एरियाज। କିନ୍ତୁ ସେ କହୁଛି ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଜାଗାରେ ଗୋଟେ କମ୍ପାନୀ ସେଟଅପ୍ ହଉଛି ସେଠି କ'ଣ ହବା ଦରକାର, ସେଠିକାର ଯେ ଅରିଜିନାଲ୍ସ ଦେ ମଷ୍ଟ ଗିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ଏ ଚାନ୍ସ ଦିଆହେଉଛି, କହିଦେଉଛି ହଁ ଆମେ ଦେବୁ। କ'ଣ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଦେଉଛି? ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ପିଅନ ଚାକିରି ଦେଉଛି और ସୁଇପର, ଏମିତି ଯୋଉଗୁଡ଼ାକ କି ଗୋଟେ ଡିଗ୍ନିଫାଏଡ୍ ଜବ୍ ନୁହେଁ ବୋଲି ବି ଆମେ କହିବା। ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଏମିତିରେ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ଗଲେ नो प्रोफेशन इज हायर, नो प्रोफेशन इज लोअर, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ କୌଣସି ରିଲେଟିଭଲି ହାଇ ପୋଜିସନରେ ଦିଆଯାଉ ନାହିଁ। ବଟ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ନଟ୍, ଏଗେନ୍ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ସେ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ନଟ୍ justice to them. That is how you can interpret the thing. Simply there is also, you know, because of media, bureaucracy, and you know, judiciary. So there is not only they are undergoing different forms of socio psychological violence or even politico and physiological violence. So if, you know, uh, they carry the heavy burden of initiating the painful process of reconciliation, at least for the short-term political alliance with the anti-Dalit forces, which are just above in the social pyramid of the caste hierarchy. So at times they are bound to compromise with the anti-Dalit forces, political alliance for the particular time panki. So they are when they are coming to a compromise point with others, definitely they are taking the burden of initiating the painful process of reconciliation. Okay, so ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ମାନସିକ ସ୍ତରରେ ସେମାନେ they are undergoing pressure, you can say. So when we talk about the Dalit, we do not, you can say that there is nothing, no claim of international level or national discourse. There is nothing like that you can see in the Dalit community. But when we talk about the Dalits' religious symbols, we see that the religious energies they possess, the capacity to function as a counter symbolic factory, whereby subaltern communities like Dalit they rejects the hegemonic symbol universe of the dominant caste. So they do not accept what is practiced by non-Dalit community or by the non-Dalit or by the dominant caste communities. Okay, and they construct their own. That much freedom they have. They are they construct their own symbolic world view in the face of severe dominations, in the in the face of severe dominations by the upper caste people, or by the, by the caste structure, but still they maintain, this construct their own symbolic worldview. Okay, so you can say that, so the Dalits, they create their own pragmatic and constructive counter symbols in order to uphold the values of the protection of life, production for livelihood, and procreation of new life. So they have their symbolic way of constructing their worldviews, and their entire worldviews, it revolves around the protection of life, the production for livelihood, and the procreation of new life. Okay, so you see, here I want to elaborate more, because when we talk about protection of life, each tribal, they have a totemic animal. ତାଙ୍କ ନିଜର ଯେମିତି ଆମମାନଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ କୁହାହଉଛି କଣ ନା, ଯୋଉ ଗୋତ୍ର ଗୋଟେ କୁହାଯାଏ, ଗୋତ୍ର ଭରଦ୍ୱାଜ, ମକର, ଏମିତି ଏମିତି ସବୁ ଗୋତ୍ର ଥାଏ। ତାମାନେ ସେଇ ଗୋତ୍ରର ଲୋକମାନେ, ସେମାନେ କଣ କରିବେ, ସେଇ ପକ୍ଷୀ, ସେଇ ଆନିମଲକୁ ସେମାନେ ମାରିପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ। protected, ତେଣୁ ସେ importance on the value of the protection of life. Okay, so this value of the protection of life, production for livelihood, repeatedly I am saying that when they enter into jungle, they do not enter into the jungle whenever they like and how they like, no, ଯୋଉଥିପାଇଁ କି ସେମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମକୁ ଏ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟ ସାର୍ଟ ପିନ୍ଧିଥିବା ଲୋକ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, କାରଣ ତାଙ୍କର କିଛି ଏଥିକ୍ସ ନାହିଁ, ତାଙ୍କର କିଛି ଭ୍ୟାଲ୍ୟୁ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ନାହିଁ, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଚାହିଁଲେ ସେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଭିତରୁ ପଳେଇବେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନେ ସେମିତି ନାହିଁ, ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ପିରିୟଡ଼ ଥାଏ, ସେ ପିରିୟଡ଼ଟି ହେଉଛି ଏମିତି, ମାନେ ବର୍ଷା ହେଇଯାଇଥିବ, ବର୍ଷା ପରେ, ବର୍ଷା ଦିନରେ ସେମାନେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲକୁ ଯାଆନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ, କାରଣ ବହୁତ ୱାଇଲ୍ଡ ଗ୍ରୋଥ ହେଇଥିବ, ତାଙ୍କର ଲାଇଫ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ଆଟ୍ ରିସ୍କ। ତାପରେ ସେମାନେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲକୁ ଯିବେ, ଗୋଟେ ପୂଜା ତାଙ୍କର ହବ, ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ଦିନ ଦେଖିକି ସେମାନେ ତା ଭିତରକୁ ଯିବେ। କାହିଁକି ନା, ଟୁ କଲେକ୍ଟ ଦେୟାର ଲାଇଭଲିହୁଡ। ଲାଇଭଲିହୁଡ କଣ? ସେଥିରେ କଣ ଥିବ ନା, ସେଥିରେ ଥିବ ଆମର କରିବେ, ନହେଲେ ସେମାନେ କଣ କରିବେ, ଯୋଉ ଶିଆଳି ଲଟା, ଯାହାକୁ ଆଣିକି କି ସେମାନେ, ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାରଲି ମାଙ୍କେଡିଆ ଟ୍ରାଇବ ଯୋଉ ଓଡିଶାର, ସେମାନେ ସେଇଟା ଉପରେ ବହୁତ କାମ କରନ୍ତି। ସେ ଶିଆଳି ଲଟା ମାନେ ମ୍ୟାଚ୍ୟୁର ଶିଆଳି ଲଟା, ଯୋଉଟା ଗୋଟେ ଦଉଡି ବଳି ହବ, ସେଗୁଡା ବି କଲେକ୍ଟ କରିବେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଦେ ଫଲୋ ଏ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ପ୍ୟାଟର୍ନ, ଦେ ଡୁ ନଟ୍ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ଦ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ୍ ଏକ୍ସସନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍, ମୁଁ ସେଇ ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ ମୁଁ ରିପିଟେଡଲି କହୁଛି। ଆଟ୍ ଦ ସେମ୍ ଟାଇମ୍ ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିଛି, they also give importance on the procreation of new life so that their race will continue. So ସେଇ ଯୋଉ ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ସନ୍ ଆଉ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ସନ୍ ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋକ୍ରିଏସନ୍ସ, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ରିଚୁଆଲ୍ସ, ଦେ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ୍ ୱିଥ୍ ଲଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ପମ୍ପ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଶୋ। ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ ବହୁତ ଭଲରେ ତାକୁ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ୍ କରନ୍ତି। କେମିତି ନା, ଯେମିତି କୁହାଯାଏ, ପ୍ରତି ଗାଁର ଗୋଟେ, ସେମାନେ ବିକଜ ଦେ ଆର୍ ଫେମିନ୍, ଦେ ଗିଭ୍ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଅନ୍ ଫେମିନିନିଟି, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ କଣ କରନ୍ତି, ସେମାନେ ସବୁ ମାତୃ କେନ୍ଦ୍ରିକ ପରିବାର ସେମାନଙ୍କର। ତେଣୁ ସେମାନେ କଣ କରନ୍ତି, ଗଡେସ୍, ଗାଁର ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରାମ ଦେବୀ ଗୋଟେ ଥିବ, ହୁ ଇଜ୍ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ଟିଂ ଦ ବାଉଣ୍ଡ୍ରି। ତେଣୁ ତାକୁ କେମିତି ସେମାନେ ଖୁସି କରିବେ, ବା ଏ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଡ୍ରମ୍ ବିଟ୍, ଗୋଟେ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଇଏ ଯେମିତି ଅଛି, ସେହିପରି ଭାବରେ ସେମାନେ କଣ କରିବେ, ତାକୁ ମାନେ so they will pray the goddess actually ସେମାନଙ୍କର prayer ବି ନାହିଁ ମାନେ ସେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅଦ୍ଭୁତ ପ୍ରକାର ସେମାନଙ୍କର worship ର style ସିଏ ସେଥିରେ କ'ଣ କରେ because the goddess will protect the entire boundary or entire village. They also give importance on production ମାନେ କେମିତି ଯେମିତି ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିଥିଲି ଗୋଟେ ପୋଙ୍ଗଲ ତାମିଲ ମାନେ ଯେଉଁ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ୍ କରନ୍ତି ପୋଙ୍ଗଲ ସେମିତି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ବୈଶାଖୀ ଆଇ ଥିଙ୍କ ପଞ୍ଜାବରେ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ୍ କରାହୁଏ ସେମିତି ଏଠି ବି ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ପୁଷ ପରବ ହଉ କି ଆମ୍ ପରବ ହଉ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ ବି ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ୍ କରନ୍ତି ସେମିତି ଦେ ଅଲସୋ ଗିଭ୍ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଅନ୍ ପ୍ରୋକ୍ରିଏସନ୍ ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଜନ୍ମ ହେବ ଜନ୍ମର ଆମର ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ୍ କଲଚର ଅଛି ଷୋଡ଼ ସଂସ୍କାର ସେଟା କେହି ଆମେ କରୁନାହିଁ ଷୋଡ଼ ସଂସ୍କାର ବିଧି ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ଲାଇଫ୍ ତାର ମାନେ ଇନ୍ ଦ ମଦର ସୁମ୍ରୁ ତାର ଗ୍ରେଭ୍ ୟାର୍ଡ଼କୁ ଯିବା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଯେଉଁ ସଂସ୍କାର ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ହୁଏ ତାକୁ ଷୋଡ଼ ସଂସ୍କାର ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଏ ସେମିତି ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଝିଅ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବଡ଼ ହେବ ସେଟାକୁ ବି ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ୍ କରନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜନ୍ମ ହେବ ତାର ବି ସେଲିବ୍ରେସନ୍ ହୁଏ ଯେଉଁ 6 ଦିନରେ କହନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ ପଡ଼ିବ ସେଟାକୁ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ନାଟାଲ ନାମକରଣ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଭାବରେ ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ ସେଲିବ୍ରେଟ୍ କରନ୍ତି ବିକଜ ଦେ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ଦ in production as well as protection production and procreations ଏ ତିନିଟା ଉପରେ ସେମାନେ ବହୁତ ଭଲରେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଦିଅନ୍ତି ଓକେ so the primordial symbols that signify the protection production and procreation are still embedded in the Dalit consciousness irrespective of the osmosis of the cultural elements shared with the dominant ସେ କହିଲେ ଯାହା ବି ହେଇଯାଉଛି ଯଦି ବି amalgamation ହେଉଛି କଲଚରାଲ ଏକ୍ସଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଉଛି କଲଚରାଲ ଏକ୍ସଚେଞ୍ଜ ଭିତରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେଇ ଯେଉଁ ସେମାନେ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ସନ୍ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ସନ୍ ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କର ପ୍ରୋକ୍ରିଏସନ୍କୁ ଆଜି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ବି ତାକୁ ବହୁତ ପ୍ରାଇମୋଡିଆଲ ସିମ୍ବଲ ବୋଲି ତାକୁ ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟ କରନ୍ତି ଆଣ୍ଡ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଭେରି ମଚ୍ ଦେୟାର ଇନ୍ ଦ ଦଲିତ କନସିୟସନେସ୍ ଓକେ ଯେମିତି ସେ କହୁଛି ଯେଉଁ ଡ୍ରମ୍ ବଜା ହୁଏ ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁଟା ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କର ଡ୍ରମ୍ ବଜା ମାନେ ଦେୟାର ଇଜ୍ ଦ ପ୍ରେଜେନ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ଡିଭିନିଟି ଯେ କହନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ ଗ୍ରାମ ଦେବତୀ ତାଙ୍କର ଡ୍ରମ୍ ବିଟ୍ରେ ସି ଇଜ୍ ଦେୟାର ଟୁ ହେଲ୍ପ ଦ ଦେୟାର ଡିଭୋଟିସ୍ ବୋଲି ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ଦେ ହାଭ୍ ଏ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ସର୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ କନସିୟସନେସ୍ ଓକେ ସୋ again the so again you can see that there is differences again there is stillness or you can say there is interior composure that constitutes the dominant knowledge system which is based on literacy transcendentalism otherworldly powers one way traffic of the grace ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ଆମେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଏଥିରେ ଭଲ ଭାବରେ ଟିକେ ପଢ଼ିବା ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଆମେ ଦଲିତ ରିଲିଜିଅନରେ ବା ଦଲିତ ରିଲିଜିୟସ୍ ସିମ୍ବଲରେ ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ବିଲକୁଲ ଦେଖିବା ନାହିଁ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସେଣ୍ଡେଣ୍ଟାଲିଜିମ୍ ମାନେ ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ କହୁ ୱି ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ଅଦର ୱାର୍ଲଡ ନନ୍ ଦଲିତ ପିପୁଲ ଦେ ମୋର୍ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ଅଦର ୱାର୍ଲଡ ଲାଇଫ୍ ଆଫ୍ଟର ଡେଥ୍ ଦେ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ସୋଲ୍ ଏସବୁ ଗୁଡ଼ାକରେ ସେ ଦେ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ରିଭିଲେସନ୍ ବା ଶବ୍ଦ ପ୍ରମାଣ ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଯେଉଁ କୁହାହେଉଛି they do not believe in this okay so again you can say the different concepts or text or discourses they also do not occupy a prominent place in the Dalit festivals in which only intersubjectivity communication of meaning occurs through different ways that I have already told you କାରଣ ଯେମିତି ଆମର ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ଗୋଟେ ହେବ ମାନେ ଗୀତା ଯଜ୍ଞ ହେବ ମାନେ ଗୀତା ପଢ଼ା ହେବ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ହେବ ମାନେ ସେଥିରେ ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ପୁରାଣ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ଗୋଟେ ପଢ଼ାଯିବ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ସେଇ ପ୍ରକାରର ଜିନିଷ ଦେ ଡୁ ନଟ୍ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟାଇସ୍ ଦେ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟର ସବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ୍ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦେ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ performative language okay and there is They believe in autonomy, self-definition, and power operative in a full swing during the celebration of their festivals. Okay, so again you can say that on the other hand, you see in the non-Dalit culture, we give importance on the reading the text, or we are guided by certain do's and do not, certain practices and prohibitions. But the Dalits, they do not provide, they do not go by certain practices and prohibitions or do's and do not. Okay, so let us see what is their religious world in their daily life. Let us see that. So they worship at once iconic as well as iconic. Okay, iconic के iconic के सेटा बुझेबा they you know କାଲି ମୁଁ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ କହିଥିଲି ତାଙ୍କର ଫ୍ରୋଜେନ୍ କଲଚର୍ ଅଛି, ରିଅଲ୍ କଲଚର୍ ଅଛି। ଫ୍ରୋଜେନ୍ କଲଚର୍ ଗ୍ରାଜୁଆଲି it becomes static, and frozen culture is becomes a cult. So ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ particularly if we want to worship, we have to go to a temple or like this. So that sort of things you will not find in case of the Dalit communities. Okay, the ମନ୍ଦିରର ଗୋଟେ particular shape ଥିବ, particular place ରେ ଥିବ, particular form ରେ ଥିବ, that you cannot find out in the Dalit community. ଗୋଟେ ଗାଁରେ ଥିବ, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ worship କରାହଉଥିବ କ'ଣ, when I was in କୋରାପୁଟ ସୁନାବେଡ଼ା, ସେ ନାଲକୋ ପାଖରେ ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଭୁଲି ଯାଉଛି, ସେଠି କ'ଣ ପୂଜା ହୁଏ ନା ଗୋଟେ କଟୁରୀଟେ ପୂଜା ହବ। ସେ ପୁଣି ଗୋଟେ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ଯାଇଥିବ, ସେ କଟୁରୀଟା ଗୋଟେ ଗଛରେ ଲାଗିଥିବ, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ଯିବ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଗଛରେ ଲାଗିଥିବ। ଯିଏ ପୂଜା କରେ ସେ କହିବ ଯେ ଏଇଟାକୁ ମୁଁ ଲଗେଇନି, ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ମାନେ ଇଏ ତାର ନିଜେ ନିଜେ ଏମିତି ବୁଲୁଛି। ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ତାଙ୍କର କେମିତି ପୂଜା ହଉଥିବ, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟୋନ୍ ସ୍ଲାସ୍ ମାନେ ଷ୍ଟୋନ୍ ଯୋଉ ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଥିବ, ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଗଛ ମୂଳରେ ଭଙ୍ଗା ଯାଇଥିବ, ସେ ଯୋଉ ମାଟିର ଘୋଡ଼ା ଏମିତି କିଛି ଥୁଆ ହେଇଥିବ। ସୋ ତା ଉପରେ କିଛି ଛାତ ନଥିବ, କି ଯୋଉ ସ୍କଲ୍ପଚର୍ ଯାହା ଗୁଡ଼ା ଥିବ ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକ ମାନେ ଏକଦମ ଭଲରେ, ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଯେମିତି ଏତେ ସୁନାରୁ ତିଆରି ହେଉଛି, ରୂପାରେ ତିଆରି ହେଇଛି, ମାଣିକ୍ୟ ଲାଗିଛି, ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକ ତାଙ୍କର ସବୁ ସେମିତି କିଛି ନାହିଁ। ମେଟାଲିକ୍ ଆଇକନ୍ ବିଲକୁଲ ନଥିବ ସେଥିରେ ଦେଖିବେ। ସୋ ତାଙ୍କର ସେମିତି, ତେଣୁ ମେଣ୍ଟେନାନ୍ସ ପାଇଁକି ବି ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ କିଛି କଷ୍ଟଲି ବି ନଥିବ। ତେଣୁକରି ସେ କହୁଛି କ'ଣ ନା even that is the material out of which the deities are made, even the decorations of the deities within and outside, କାରଣ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ପୂଜା ହୁଏ କହୁଥିଲେ ମେକ୍ ସିଫ୍ଟ ମିନି ଟେମ୍ପଲ୍ସ, ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଜଷ୍ଟ ଗୋଟେ ଚାଳ ଭଳି ଗୋଟେ କରିଦେଇଥିବେ, କି ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ପତ୍ର ପକେଇକି ତା ତଳେ ଗୋଟେ କରିଦେଇଥିବେ, ଅର୍ ଇନ୍ ଦ ଗୋଟେ ଯୋଉ ଆମେ କ'ଣ ତାକୁ କହୁଛେ, ଯୋଉଟା ଯୋଉଥିରେ ରଥ ଭଳି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ହେଇଥିବ, କାର୍ ବୋଲି ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ, ରଥ ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟଲି କାର୍ ମାନେ ଏ ଯୋଉ 4 wheel କାର୍ ସେମିତି ନୁହେଁ, ଗୋଟେ ଚାରିଅଟ୍ ଟାଇପ୍ର ହେଇଥିବ। ସେଥିରେ ବି ସେମାନେ ନେଇକି ଯୋଉଥିରେ ବହୁତ ପତ୍ର ଆଉ ଫୁଲ, ମାନେ ସବୁ ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଇନ୍ଏକ୍ସପେନ୍ସିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ଏକ୍ସପେନ୍ସିଭ୍ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ୍ସରୁ ତିଆରି ହେଇଥିବ। ଆଉ ସେଥିରେ କିଛି ପେପର କାଟିକି ତାକୁ ଯୋଉ କଲର୍ଡ ପେପର୍ସ ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛ ଗଣେଶ ପୂଜା ସରସ୍ୱତୀ ପୂଜାରେ ଆମେ ଡେକୋରେଟ୍ କରୁଛେ, ସେମିତି ଟିକେ ଡେକୋରେସନ୍ସ ଥିବ। ଓକେ, ସୋ basically or largely we see the Dalit festivals, they are marked with noisy atmosphere. Okay, so the movements of the divine cannot be dissociated from animated, boisterous or blare of noise. So the absolute erupts into the universe as a roaring noise, and the drumming rhythm rendering the air with the thunderous clamor. ତେଣୁକରି ୟୁଜୁଆଲି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯାହା ଫେଷ୍ଟିଭାଲ ସେଲିବ୍ରେସନ୍ ହୁଏ ବା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯାହା ରିଲିଜିୟସ୍ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସେସ୍ ଦେ ଅବଜର୍ଭ, ୟୁଜୁଆଲି ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ମାର୍କଡ ୱିଥ୍ ଏ ନଏଜି ଆଟମୋସ୍ଫିୟର। କାରଣ କୁହାହେଉଛି ସେମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ସୃଷ୍ଟିକର୍ତ୍ତା ଯେତେବେଳେ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଥଣ୍ଡରସ୍ ଗ୍ଲାମର ଭିତରୁ ସେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେଥିପାଇଁକି ଦେ ଅଲସୋ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ଦ to celebrate it in a noisy situation, that you can say. Okay. ଟିକେ ପାଣି ପିଇବି ହେଲା। So you know that Dalit religiosity, or you can talk about this strong or intimate feelings of the Dalit religion, that has to be traced to their folk religious practices. Basically ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ ଲୋକପ୍ରଥା ଅଛି କେମିତି ନା their religion is naturalistic. They worship the different parts of the nature that you cannot deny. Spontaneously materialistic, and they are non institutionalized. ଆମେ ଯେମିତି ପୂଜା କରିବାକୁ ହେଲେ ମନ୍ଦିରକୁ ଯିବା, ତାଙ୍କର ତ ମନ୍ଦିର ନାହିଁ, ତେଣୁ ଦେ worship every part, ଗୋଟେ ଗଛକୁ, ଗୋଟେ ଆନିମଲକୁ, ଗୋଟେ ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ମାଉଣ୍ଟେନକୁ ସେମାନେ ଏମିତି ସବୁ ପୂଜା କରନ୍ତି, ଯେଉଁଟାକି ଲାଞ୍ଜିଗଡ଼ର ପିଲାମାନେ କେଉଁ ଲାଞ୍ଜିଗଡ଼ର କେଉଁ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି ହେଇଛି? ବେଦାନ୍ତ, ରାଇଟ୍। ମୋର ସେତେବେଳୁ ମନେ ପକାଉଛି, ମନେ ପଡ଼ୁନି। ବେଦାନ୍ତ ଲାଞ୍ଜିଗଡ଼ରେ ସେଇଠି ଗୋଟେ ଯେଉଁ ସେଇখাର ଯେଉଁ ଟ୍ରାଇବାଲ ଲିଡର, ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଇଏ ହେଉଛି କ'ଣ ନା ସେଇଠି ଗୋଟେ ପାହାଡ଼ ଅଛି, ସେଟା ହେଉଛି ନିୟମ। ସେ ତାକୁ କହୁଛି ମୁଁ ନିୟମ ରାଜାକୁ ତମମାନେ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ କରିକି, ମାନେ ୟୁ ସି how they are connected, how they are associated themselves with nature. ଗୋଟେ ପାହାଡ଼ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ, ଗୋଟେ ନଦୀ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ, ନର୍ମଦା ବଚାଓ ଆନ୍ଦୋଳନ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ, ଗୋଟେ ନଦୀ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ, ଗୋଟେ ଗଛ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ, ଗୋଟେ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଆନିମଲ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ, how they can identify themselves with this. ତେଣୁକରି ସେ କହୁଛି କ'ଣ ନା you can say that their religion it is naturalistic, and because it is naturalistic ତାର outcome ହେବ କ'ଣ? It is spontaneously materialistic, and they are also non-institutionalized. ମନ୍ଦିର ଗୋଟେ ପରେ ମନ୍ଦିର କରିକି ସେଠି ଯାଇକି ପୂଜା କରିବା ଉପରେ they do not believe, and they do not have that sort of money to build the temples. So they are the, you can say they are the symbolic treasure houses of the sufferings as well as the joys of the people. ସେଇ ଯେଉଁ ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ folk religious practices, ସେଠି once I had been to a tribal temple. It is not a temple, I cannot say it to be temple, outside ଏମିତି। ସେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ କହିଲା, ମାନେ କହିଲା ଉଠ, ମା ମାନେ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ତତେ ଦେଖା କରିବା ପାଇଁ। ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ହାଉ ୟୁ ସି ହାଉ ଦେ ଇଣ୍ଟରାକ୍ଟ ୱିଥ୍ ଦ, ଇଭନ୍ ୱି ଡୁ ନଟ୍ ଡେୟାର ଟୁ ଇଣ୍ଟରାକ୍ଟ ଇନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ୱେ, how they interact with the Lord as a member of their community, as a member of their own family. So you can say that everything, whether it is a matter of joy or it is a matter of suffering, everything they used to share with the deity. So therefore you can say that they are religious, or you can say they are religions. They are the symbolic treasure of the symbolic treasure house of the sufferings or the joys of the particular community. So they are willing walls of the people as well as the guerrilla war pits of the people. So they are the local utopias of the people, you can say. ତାଙ୍କୁ ସେଠି ଯାଇକି ଲୋକମାନେ କ'ଣ କରିବେ, ମାନେ ଯିଏ ପିଟି ପିଟି ହେଇକି ନିଜକୁ ବହୁତ କାନ୍ଦିବ, ଆଉ ନହେଲେ ସେଠି ଜଣେ ତାର ସୁଖକୁ ସେ କରିବ। So this is said to be the, this is said to be the treasure house of the joys and of their sorrows only. So again, let us have a little bit discussion on how the tribals, how the Dalits, they imagine the divine. Okay, how the Dalit imagine the divine. So the because the Dalits, they are the native of a particular geographical area. So the native Dalit religiosity, it revolves around down to earth deities. Kemti down to earth kona? Yesterday I have already told you. Dharani Penu, that means Mother Goddess. Or you can say that they have, mm, uh, they classify them under different categories like, Mother Goddess, ଯେମିତି କହିଲି ଧରଣୀ ପେନୁ, memory stones for the martyr leaders, କାରଣ ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେମାନେ ଆଇକନିକ୍ ବୋଲି ଭାବନ୍ତି, either in the ideal heroes or heroines, they again worship them and they treat them, they give them the status of the god. So memory they and they have some memory stones for the martyr leaders, for the heroes and the heroines. And similarly, they have also the memory of the dead among the kinsfolk. ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ ପରିବାରର ଯେଉଁମାନେ ମାନେ those who have passed away from their family, they have also have a memory for them. So this is how they classified their deities, you can say. So those who are those the leisurely class of people, they alienate from the culture of daily manual work. They tend to construct their religious culture with the heavenly myths of the epicenter. And but those who are nomadic lifestyle, those who are the nomadic people, they may not have that agrarian sensibility as part of their religious universe. So, but the Dalits, they by and large, they reduce to be landless migrants, are closely attuned to the religio-cultural sensibilities of the agrarian culture. Okay, so basically those who are every every Dalit is not a rich, you cannot say like this, very few of them they have a standard of living, otherwise all are they are just living the life of a migrant, moving from here to there to have only a good meal per day. So you can say that in the Dalit world, but basically, when they have classified these deities into the four forms, but in every community, in every Dalit community, you see that the mother goddess, Dharani Penu, it play a vital and indispensable role in their consciousness. So they have given a very very high status to the to Mother Goddess. Okay, but on the other hand, the feminine face of God in the organized religion practiced by the caste-minded elite is either subjugated to the male gods or regrettably relegated. ଆଉ ଯୋଉଠି ତମେ ଦେଖିବ ତାପରେ ଧରଣୀ ପେନୁ ପରେ ମଦର ଗଡସ୍ ପରେ ଆଉ ଯୋଉ ଗୁଡାକ, because their background culture is more feminine, so they are giving more weightage to the goddesses rather than gods. Either they omit or they because the they sell because uh, the goddess, she represents the fertility, and she because of that the procreation, that is also another very important thing they time and again they give importance. So that fertility is possible because of the mother goddess and they give importance on that. So therefore they include them as their religious symbols. And at the same time, the autonomy of the female goddess, free from the grip and the control of the male gods, it is one of the major items, you can say, in the Dalit religio-cultural world. What you see, ଆମର ଏଠି ଦେଖିବେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ବି କୁହାହେଉଛି ଟ୍ରାଇବାଲ ଗଡ୍ ବୋଲି ବି କୁହାହେଉଛି, ବହୁତ ଜଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି। କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ କ'ଣ, ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ମଝିରେ, ସରି, ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ ଗୋଟେ ପଟେ ବଳଭଦ୍ର, ମଝିରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛନ୍ତି ସୁଭଦ୍ରା ଇଜ୍ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ଟେଡ୍ ବାଇ ଦ ଟୁ ବ୍ରଦର୍ସ। Or you see, there are many descriptions in the non-Dalit culture where you can see that ମାନେ ବ୍ରହ୍ମା ଶୋଇଥିବେ, ତାଙ୍କର ପାଦ ଗୋଟେ ପଟେ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ମୀ, ଗୋଟେ ପଟେ ସରସ୍ୱତୀ ତାଙ୍କର ପାଦ ଚିପୁଥିବେ। So you see that all indicates that there is a female goddess. They have not that sort of autonomy, that sort of freedom as the male gods. So but this is a very peculiar and very appreciating practice in the Dalit religio-cultural world, is that the female goddesses, they have autonomous, and they are completely free from the grip of the control of the male gods, that you can see in the Dalit religious worldviews. Okay, so the even the image of the deity, okay, that is named as, जोटाकि आम कहे बिलंगिंग टू द फैमिली, जहाँ आम कहे कुल देवी बोली भी से माने कहते, और एन एथनिक ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल, जहाँ को माने यूजुअली प्रति फैमिली यू कैन से दैट दे आर एट होम विथ द इमेज ऑफ द प्रोटेक्टर गॉड, तांको माने कुल देवी बोली कह जाए, जे कि से परिवार को से रक्षा करेंगे जिते किसी काली माँ जिते किसी रात आसब, सी विल प्रोटेक्ट. So this is how they have the image of the deity in their family, in their community, and in their society also. Okay, so again, the Dalits, they have a anthropomorphism of, they have the concept of anthropomorphism of God, and you know uh, they there is um, you can say that they worship the different parts of the nature. Why? Now, because of their smooth life, smooth living. So because their lifestyle is more and more dependent on the congenial behavior of the nature. ଯଦି ନେଚର କିଛି ତାଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରତିକୂଳ ହେଇଯିବ, ତାହେଲେ ତାଙ୍କର ଜୀବନ ବଞ୍ଚିବା, ଜୀବନ ଜୀଇବା ପାଇଁ କି ମଧ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେବ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଦେ ୟୁଜ୍ ଟୁ worship every bit, every part of the nature, ଯୋଉଥିପାଇଁ କି ତାକୁ କୁହାହଉଛି କ'ଣ, they are naturalism, their worship is naturalism. So there are many religious stories that portray the fulfillment of the humanly impossible things in the far or near future by God's direct or indirect intervention. ତେଣୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନେ କହନ୍ତି ମାନେ ମା ଖୁସି ଥିଲେ ଆମ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ସବୁ ସୁବିଧା ହେଇଯିବ, ଯଦି ମା ଦୁଃଖୀ ଥିବ ତାହେଲେ ଆମର ସବୁରେ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଇଯିବ, ଦେୟାର ୱିଲ୍ ବି ରାହତ on our life only. So they actively vibrate with the themes and the religious narratives related to the acquisition of land. And similarly, they use figurative language of prophetic poets and the parabolic and the anecdotal modes of religious stories that revert their attention. And similarly, that is why you can say many stories that eyed through the lens of the Dalits that come out as the new perspective, different from the traditional ones. So this is how you can say that they are, their religion. Exactly, I'm again repeatedly I'm saying you that there is no religion that is purely called as a Dalit religion. There is no religion as such. But when we talk about them, we know that it is more or less influenced by all these things, and they have their own way. Because religiosity, what I have from the very beginning, I have told you the religiosity, a very strong form of religious feelings you can see in them, and the religiosity is very strong in the Dalit community in the Dalit society. Okay, so with this only, I think we will let us move to the next unit. Okay, or I will discuss a little bit. Okay, so you see, they have certain expectations from the deities because they are very simple and they are very gullible people, you can say. They are so. Uh, they go to they worship the gods କଣ ଫେଭର ନା ମୋର ଜମିରେ they have no high expectations, ସେମାନେ କଣ ମୋ ଜମିରେ ଯୋଉ ଫସଲ କରିଛି ସେ ଫସଲଟା ଭଲ ହଉ, this is their say that this is their divine favor. So even you can say uh, the act of fulfillment of the promise made to the divine, what they have promised that they will fulfill, or you can say that there is the fear of possible divine wrath for not fulfilling the same promise. ବହୁତ ତାଙ୍କର ଭୟ, ମାନେ ମୁଁ ଏଇ ପ୍ରମିସଟା କରିଛି ତାକୁ ଯଦି ଫୁଲଫିଲ୍ ନ କରିବି ତାହେଲେ କଣ ହବ, ମୋ ଉପରେ ସବୁ ପ୍ରକାର ଅସୁବିଧା ମୋ ଜୀବନକୁ ମାଡ଼ି ଆସିବ, ସେ ଭୟ ବହୁତ। ତେଣୁ ଯାହା ହ୍ୱାଟ ଦେ ହାଭ୍ ପ୍ରମିସ୍ they try their level best to fulfill it, and usually because of the because of the religious background, you can say they are more and more addicted, they stay connected to the root, they stay connected to the tradition. And because from the very beginning I have already mentioned you that they do not believe in I, they believe in we, they believe in the community life, not the individual life. So they always try to participate or celebrate the religious festivals as a social event, and they they also thrill of undertaking a spiritual journey. They also join the world of people at large, away from the local situation of operations. And you can say that they bent up and they unresolved and accumulate emotional uh, um, no, balance, that is they release before the god or before in a particular form. Similarly, you can say that because I have already told you that religious practice, they do not believe in life after death. They do not believe in something transcendental. So because of that, they says that in a way we can ଯାଅ, I am getting disturbed, ମୋର ସବୁ କଟି ଯାଉଛି connection, yeah. So they repeatedly give importance on what we say, that is the um, you can say that because they do not believe in the life after death, they do not believe in the other worldly concepts, ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଲାଇଫରେ ଏଇ ଗୋଟିଏ ଜୀବନରେ ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ କ'ଣ କରନ୍ତି, ମୋରାଲିଷ୍ଟିକ ଆଉଟଲୁକ୍ ଦେଇକି ବଞ୍ଚନ୍ତି। ଏଇ ଗୋଟିଏ ଜୀବନରେ ସେମାନେ କ'ଣ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରନ୍ତି, ଯାହା କରିବେ, ଯାହା ପ୍ରମିସ୍ ଫୁଲଫିଲିଂ କରିବେ, ଯାହା କାମ କରିବେ, ତାକୁ କେମିତି ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଡିସିପ୍ଲିନ୍ ୱେରେ ତାକୁ ସେମାନେ କରିବେ, give a moralistic outlook even to this life only, because for them this life is the only life, there is no life after death. So they want to make they give a totalistic moral outlook to their life only. Okay, so they also, it is not the thing that they will subjugate others, it is not the thing that they will for the sake of their dignity they can use others. No, they they look for their dignity as well as the dignity of the family, dignity of the community, and similarly they disciplined themselves from drinking, smoking, and extramarital affairs. Nowadays, you see there is amalgamation of cultures, and out of that, out of poverty, there may be many reasons for that. But basically, these are the things they usually make a balance between, and they are away, making themselves away from the extramarital affairs. Or they are so truth speaking persons, uh, ଯଦି ଜଣେ ତାଙ୍କର they are very spontaneous, they do whatever they do it out of spontaneity. ଗୋଟେ ଆଦିବାସୀ ଜଣେ ଧର ରାଗିଗଲା, କାହାର ବେକ କାଟିଦେଲା, ତାର ସେତିକି ସାହସ ଅଛି, କାରଣ some other day one of my friends he shared, ତାଙ୍କ ବାପା ଥିଲେ ପୋଲିସରେ, ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଆଦିବାସୀ ମାନେ ସିଚୁଏଟେଡ୍ ଜାଗାରେ ସେମାନେ ଥିଲେ, ସେଠି ସେ ସିଧା ଗୋଟେ ବାଲ୍ଟି ଭିତରେ ସେ କଟା ମୁଣ୍ଡକୁ ଧରିକି ଆସିଲା ଆଙ୍କ ଘରକୁ, ଆସି କହିଲା ଯେ ମୁଁ କାଟିଛି. They have that audacity, you see, to speak the truth, whether the action may go wrong or the action may be right, but they have the courage to speak the truth. So uh, you can say they also um, love to decorate their body with colorful costumes, high decibels with noisy duels. ତାଙ୍କର ଫେଷ୍ଟିଭାଲରେ ସେମାନେ ସବୁ ଏମିତି କରିକି ତାଙ୍କ ନିଜର ଇମୋସନାଲ ଆଉଟବର୍ଷ୍ଟକୁ ସେଟାକୁ ସେମାନେ ଦେଖନ୍ତି. ଓକେ, ସୋ again, when we talk about the religious background, they always prefer to do some. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କର କମ୍ୟୁନିଟିରେ ତାଙ୍କର ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟୁ ଗଡେସ୍ ଆର୍ଥ ତାଙ୍କର ଆଇକନିକ୍ ହିରୋ ହିରୋଇନ୍ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ପୂଜା କରାଯାଏ. It is the exemplary acts for they prefer to do some exemplary acts for the edification of others. They want to create some examples for others so that they will follow certain things. Similarly, they are also free to take some corrective measures towards rehabilitation and the restoration back to mainstream of society. That is their only one thing that I want to say. And with this, I think we will move on to the next bit, or you can say the next unit. The I think the next unit is about eschatology, Dalit eschatology. Let me check. I don't know. Let me check. The next unit, yeah. Are you following? Am I not boring? ଆପଣ ମାନେ ବୋର ହଉଛନ୍ତି କି? Then we will go for some discussions. Am I boring to all of you?
No, ma'am.
Do you follow me? ବୁଝି ପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯାହା କୁହାହଉଛି? Unit 1, Unit 2. Just a minute. So I think the next unit, it is about the Dalit eschatology, I think. Here we will make it a little, yeah, eschatological view of the Dalits. Okay, so here I will begin with the word eschatology. What is that? Write down the word eschatology. The spelling is ESCHATOLOGY. Okay, so eschatology, you can say it is a branch of, either you can say it is a branch of philosophy, or you can say it is a branch of theology. Both we are right or correct. So it is a branch of philosophy or theology which deals with metaphysics. Okay. So do you know what is metaphysics? ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି metaphysics କ'ଣ? Okay. Metaphysics is a composite word. Okay. ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ philosophical terms. Try to write down while I am teaching. So eschatology, it is either a branch of philosophy or theology which deals with metaphysics. We say that it deals with metaphysics. So what do we mean by metaphysics? So metaphysics is a composite word. এটা ଗୋଟେ composite word ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ ଭାଙ୍ଗିଦେଲେ ଦୁଇଟା ଶବ୍ଦ ପାଇବା, ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି ମେଟା ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି ଫିଜିକ୍ସ। ଓକେ, ମେଟା ମାନେ କ'ଣ ନା ମେଟା ମାନେ ବିୟଣ୍ଡ, ଫିଜିକ୍ସ ମାନେ କ'ଣ ନା ଫିଜିକାଲ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ବା ଫିଜିକାଲ ଏଣ୍ଟିଟି, ଏଇଟାକୁ ଆମେ କହିବା metaphysics. So meta mane beyond, physics mane physical world বা physical entity. So if there is something beyond this physical world, beyond these physical entities, then or physical stuff, then definitely it is the subject matter of metaphysics. Okay. So therefore, again, I come back to the definition of eschatology, which tells you that it is a branch of philosophy which deals with metaphysics. Okay, so it indicates that it does not deal with the physical stuff but with something that is non-physical. Okay, तामाने eschatology माने आमे कौन जानले physics विषय रे जदि कहूच metaphysics विषय रे, metaphysics माने आमे कौन जानले तत्व ज्ञान ऊपर जदि से कहूची, तत्व मीमांसा ऊपर जदि कहूची, तत्व माने कौन ना जोटा physical नुहे, तामाने metaphysics टा definitely by eschatology टा definitely गोटे कौन हेतबो ना non physical हेतबो। That how we understand that non-physical in the human domain as something spiritual stuff. So we can here by eschatology we can understand that something after physical substance or something beyond the physical substance. So in other words, you can say logically, we can say that in eschatology, there is a discussion on the spiritual matters that is understood as life or reality which exist after the death of this physical substance. Okay, so you can by that ପିଲାମାନେ ତମ ମାନେ ବୁଝିପାରିଲ what is eschatology, or I should speak something more on that? ବୁଝିହେଲା କି? Hello, is it clear to all of you? Nobody is responding. Respond. ଆପଣ ମାନେ ରେସ୍ପଣ୍ଡ দিয়ে କରନ୍ତୁ, ବୁଝିହେଲା?
Yes, ma'am.
ବୁଝିହେଲା? Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
clear? Okay, okay. Again, I am repeating. If somebody is writing, so write carefully. So, eschatology, eschatology, it is a branch of either the philosophy or theology. Theology means religion, you know. It is a branch of philosophy or theology which deals with metaphysics. Okay. ତେଣୁ ଏଠି ମେଟାଫିଜିକ୍ସ ଶବ୍ଦଟା କ'ଣ ବୁଝିଗଲେ ଆମେ ଏସ୍ଚାଟୋଲୋଜିଟା କ'ଣ ବୁଝିଯିବା। ମେଟାଫିଜିକ୍ସ ମାନେ କ'ଣ? ମେଟାଫିଜିକ୍ସ ଗୋଟେ କମ୍ପୋଜିଟ୍ ୱାର୍ଡ, ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ ଭାଙ୍ଗିଲେ ଆମେ ଦୁଇଟା ୱାର୍ଡ ପାଇବା, ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ମେଟା ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ଫିଜିକ୍ସ। ମେଟା ମାନେ କ'ଣ ନା ବିୟଣ୍ଡ ବା ଆଫ୍ଟର, ଫିଜିକ୍ସ ମାନେ କ'ଣ ନା ଦିସ୍ ଫିଜିକାଲ ୱାର୍ଲଡ। ସେ କହୁଛି ଇଫ୍ ଆଟ୍ ଅଲ୍ there is something beyond this physical world, beyond this physical entity, beyond this physical substance, then it is the subject matter of metaphysics. Okay, so definitely if eschatology deals with metaphysics, so definitely it is not about physical substance, it is about the non-physical substance or non-physical entity. So here what we understand by the non-physical entity? By non-physical entity, we understand that the some sort of spiritual stuff that is called the non-physical entity, or that is called the non-physical substance. Therefore, logically and very meaningfully, we can say that the branch of eschatology, it deals with or it accepts spiritual matters which is understood as life or reality and which persist or exist or subsist after the death of the physical body or physical entity. Okay, so again, you know, this word, it is derived from the Greek word eschatos, which means last, and logi, meaning the study. ତେଣୁକରି ଯିଏ ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷଟା ପୁରା ଲାଷ୍ଟ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ରହୁଛି ତାର ଯୋଉ ଷ୍ଟଡି କରାହବ ତାକୁ ଆମେ କ'ଣ କହୁଛେ, ତାକୁ ଆମେ ଏସ୍ଚାଟୋଲୋଜି ବୋଲି କହୁଛେ। So you can say that it is concerned with the
Ma'am,
ultimate destiny.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, last and study, na large and study.
last, LAST, last,
Okay, ma'am.
ମାନେ ଆମର
Thank you.
ଶେଷରେ ଯାହା ରହିବ ସେଇଟା ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଅଫ ଦ ଲାଇଫ ସେଇଟାକୁ କୁହାଯାଉଛି। So it is, ଆଉ ଥରେ କହୁଛି, it is derived from the Greek word eschatos, ESCHATOS, eschatos meaning last, LAST, and logi meaning the study. Therefore you can say eschatology concerned with the ultimate destiny or the last destiny, final destiny, jaha bhi kahile haba, last destiny, final destiny, ultimate destiny of humanity. Okay, so କହୁଛି କ'ଣ ନା last destiny, what are the last destiny you see? Usually what we say, one is we are born, for the day we born death is assured, so the last destiny is death. Or you can say the my destiny is to go heaven. Christianity ରେ ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଭାବରେ କୁହାଯାଇଛି କ'ଣ, there is a judgment day. Judgment day, ଜଣେ ମରିଗଲେ ବା କେତେ ଲୋକ ମରିଗଲେ ଗୋଟେ judgment day ଅଛି, ସେଇଥିରେ ତମକୁ ଡକାଯିବ, ମାନେ soul, ସେ ଆସିକି ତାକୁ କୁହାଯିବ ତତେ ଏଇଆ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ କରାହେଇଥିଲା, ତୁ ସେଗୁଡ଼ା କରିଛୁ ନା ନାହିଁ, ସେଇଠି ନିଷ୍ପତ୍ତି ନିଆଯିବ। ଆଇଦର ୟୁ ୱିଲ୍ ଗୋ ବ୍ୟାକ୍ ଟୁ ହେଲ୍, ଆଇଦର ୟୁ ୱିଲ୍ ଗୋ ବ୍ୟାକ୍ ଟୁ ଟୁ ବର୍ନ ଏଗେନ୍, ଅର୍ ୟୁ ୱିଲ୍ ଗୋ ଫର୍ ରିଡେମ୍ପସନ୍, ତାକୁ କୁହାଯାଉଛି ଗୋ ଫର୍ ଲିବରେସନ୍। ତେଣୁ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଡେ ବା ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଜଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଡେ ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଏ। ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ କି perhaps because of that we are saying that what is the ultimate destiny of human life or humanity, you can say. There is one is the uh, death, and after death there is definitely judgment. Then either you will go to heaven or you will go to hell. ପୁଣି ଆସିବ ତମ କାମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ତମକୁ ଯାହା ଆସାଇନ୍ କରାହେଇଛି ସେଟା କରିନ। ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଭେରି ବ୍ୟୁଟିଫୁଲି ଡିସ୍କସ୍ଡ in Christianity. Okay, so you can say the this last things that we can understand, or by death we understand that it is the end of life, or one others can say that death is not the end of life, rather the beginning of another life, କାରଣ ବୁଦ୍ଧିଜିମରେ ବହୁତ ଭଲରେ କୁହାଯାଇଛି ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି କ୍ଷଣଭଙ୍ଗୁର, ଯୋଉଟା ଅଛି ସବୁଦିନ ପାଇଁ ନାହିଁ। ଜନ୍ମ ମୃତ୍ୟୁକୁ ସେ ବହୁତ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ ବୁଦ୍ଧ କହୁଛନ୍ତି, ପୁନରପି ଜନମମ୍ ପୁନରପି ମରଣମ୍ ଜୟନି ଜନନୀ ଜଠରେ ଶୟନମ୍। ତେଣୁ ପୁଣି ମରିବି, ପୁଣି ବଞ୍ଚିବି, ପୁଣି ଜନ୍ମ ହେବି, ପୁଣି ମରିବି, କାହିଁକି ମରିକି ପୁଣି ଏଗେନ୍ ଆଇ ୱିଲ୍ ବି implanted in the mother's womb, janani jathare sayanam, ବୋଲି ସେ କହୁଛି। So either you can perceive, one perspective can be death is the end of life, another perspective can be death is not the end of life, rather beginning of another new life, or you can say that it is the end of an age, or you can say it is the end of the reality, there will be a new reality will be there। ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ପୃଥିବୀର ବି ଗୋଟେ ଲାଇଫ୍ ଅଛି, ତାର ବି ଯଦି କେୟାର ନ ନେବା ତାହେଲେ ତାର ବି ଅନଟାଇମଲି ଡେଥ୍ ହେଇଯିବ ବୋଲି ଯେଉଁ କହୁଛି। So again you will have a new life, again you will have a new reality. So you can say it is usually we talk of all these things because to understand that there is a crisis, and that crisis brings an end to current reality and begins a new way of living, thinking, or being. So that is how we understand, and we say that it is usually when we talk about the end of life, end of age, it is because of some sort of crisis that brings an end, okay, to current reality, or you can say that, or it may be for a beginning of a new way of living, new way of thinking, or a new way of being, that we can say. So this crisis, there is a crisis that I am pointing out, and this crisis may be because of the intervention of a deity in history, or because of the intervention of a war, or you can say that because of the intervention of a change in the environment, or you can say that the intervention of a new level of consciousness. So you see, so why this crisis occurs? Because the crisis occurs because either of the intervention of a deity in the history. There are many deities, they interfered in the ongoing process and there is a crisis, or because of a war, there are crises. And you can say that in the change in the environment, the crisis may be because of the change in the environment, or broadly you can say that there is a, nowadays you see, we are more and more talking of save even a water drop. Why? Because we have already feeling the punch of water crisis. So that's why we are talking of, we are undergoing different climate issues. So that's why we are ecologically, we are becoming more and more conscious, and we are trying to say that each one plant one. ତେଣୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଗଛ ଲଗେଇବା ବୋଲି କଥା ହଉଛି. Similarly, we can say that the crisis, even it may be because of a new level of consciousness that you know. So if out of that crisis, if we make a choice, and if our choice will be for a better world, then we are making a utopian world. And if it is for a worse world, then we can say that it is a dystopian world. Okay, dystopian world. Okay, so either, so out of the choice or out of the crisis, if there is a crisis, we have to make a choice, there is no doubt about it. And out of the choice, either we create a utopian world or we create a dystopian world. So when we talk about that eschatology, which deals with, and because in this unit we are talking about the Dalit eschatology, so here we can say that this eschatology vary in degree, either in the form of vary in degree from person to person, from community to community. जोपाई कि आम बर्तमान गोटे हापिनेस इंडेक्स नौ गोटे बहुत छोटिया कंट्री फिनलैंड सी टॉप रे रोचे, इंडिया भाया भास्ट कंट्री जाकि को तले रोचे. So you see, so that eschatology, it varies in degree from person to person, either so as a result, as that expression, as that manifestation, we see that either there is a pessimism or there is optimism. Okay, either there is a pessimistic worldview or there is an optimistic worldview. You see, Jain people, when you look at a ଜୈନ ଆସେଟିକ୍, ତାଙ୍କୁ ପଚାରିବ ଆପଣ କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଗୋଟେ ଧଳା ପିନ୍ଧିଥିବ, ତା ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ହାତ ଗଳି ହାତ ଲୁଚେଇ କ'ଣ ଗୋଟେ ମୁଣା ଭିତରେ ସେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ କରୁଥିବ. And that because they are here, they are having a life, they are having a body, this is because some karmas they have done, and as a result they are in this mundane life, they are suffering. For that every moment they are repenting. So that you can say that pessimistic world view. Because when we try to understand what is pessimism and what is optimism, ସେଇଠି ଆପଣ ମାନେ ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଭାବରେ, ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ କଥା ଅଛି ଯୋଉ କହନ୍ତି ଏଇ ମନ ବୃନ୍ଦାବନ ଏଇ ମନ ଗଡ଼ିଆ ନା କ'ଣ ଏମିତି କହନ୍ତି. ମାନେ it is mind that plays a very crucial role in determining whether you will have a pessimistic world view or you will have an optimistic world view. Okay, so that eschatology, you can say that metaphysical understanding, that metaphysical outlook, that either make members of the community as pessimistic or optimistic, you can say. Even in Hebrew tradition, ସେମାନେ କହୁଥିଲେ ଲାଇଫକୁ କେମିତି, how they perceive, they say life takes a linear path, ସିଧା ସିଧା ଯିବ. The world is finally headed towards God's final goal. But in Sankhya system, Indian tradition रे ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ କ'ଣ ନା ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଯେ ସେଟା ସେ କହୁଛି life is only a the life is only a process cyclic process ଜନ୍ମ ମୃତ୍ୟୁ cyclic process ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ କି ତା ଭିତରେ କ'ଣ ରହୁଛି ନା only when one get a the final goal is that to get liberation ଯାହାକୁ ସେ କହୁଛି କୈବଲ୍ୟ ସେ କୈବଲ୍ୟ ପାଇବା that is the final goal but life as such it follows a cyclic path but because in this unit we are talking about the Dalit eschatology so we have to see what is the basis for Dalit eschatology okay so the first point the first feature I can say that is for egalitarian community because of Aryans, there is we do talk of caste systems, or you can say uh, out of the invasion of the Aryans, they are trying to impose, they are trying to subjugate the original inhabitants of Indian soil and those who are named as Dravidians. So gradually it takes the shape of caste system, um, again, because of the caste system and they segregate or they discriminate and they differentiate. So similarly, out of that, the Dalits also, that is a social reality you can say, the Dalits, they are also discriminated and differentiated. But their eschatology, for their basis for the eschatology is to make an egalitarian community. Egalitarian means equal treatment for all. We must see others as the expansion of myself only and nothing else. So, because when we say that the Aryans they came and they invaded and they gradually settled down, and because of them there is discrimination, there is caste system, there is caste structure in the society. So when the Aryans when they came to India, they do not came to India as tabula rasa. Tabula rasa means nothing in their mind. It is just a white sheet of paper. It is just a clean sheet of paper. No, it is not like that. Rather, they do not come to India without any religion or without a philosophical background. So this is not like that. So they came with their background, with their philosophical background, with their understanding, with a particular religious worldview. So they try to, they see that their worldviews were squarely opposed to the worldview of those who were originally living in this subcontinent. So they see that Aryan ମାନଙ୍କର world view ଆଉ ଯୋଉ aboriginals ଯୋଉମାନେ ଥିଲେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ମୂଳରୁ ଥିଲେ ଏଠି ସେମାନଙ୍କର world view ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ there is a sea change difference. There is a huge difference. The belief system of the original uh, Dravidians was egalitarian only and they have a communitarian feelings and they believe in this world only not after not another world not they do not they believe in this life only not life after death so basically they are egalitarian the aboriginals the original inhabitants they are egalitarian they are communitarian at the same time are they are the people of this world only so as a result because there is a huge gap between their worldview and the worldview of the aboriginals so as a result the Aryans they tried to impose their religious faith, their social system upon the people and divide the society into high and low. This is the consequence. You see, this is the result. Okay. So you see, because this they see that there is huge difference between their worldview and the worldview of the Aryans. So what the Aryans do, because they do not come in a blank mind, they have some faith, they come with some understanding. So they try to impose their religious faith, their social system, their worldview upon the people of the originals, upon the original inhabitants, and accordingly they divide the society into high and low. So gradually what they do, gradually the Aryans, they try to enslave the local people. They try to, because I have very profoundly I said that the originals, the color of the original inhabitants was dark, they were black, and the Aryan they are whitish skinned people, or they are fair, you can say their skin was fair. That's why there is Chaturbarna, we talk about Varna, and here the name is there. Basically, because of that, the caste structure was there, but gradually it is interpreted in something like this. So here the Chaturvarna does not refer to color of the skin, rather it refers to the guna and karma, quality and action or inclination, you can say. So accordingly it is determined. So at that time, those who oppose the Aryans for their imposition, they are today called as Dalits. They are named as Dalits in the contemporary time, or in the today's period. So, the Aryans, they never accepted the religion of the religion, or you can say the philosophy, or the social arrangements, or their worldviews at all. So they try to impose. So gradually, you can say everything they try to destroy because of their colonizing colonizations, because ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛେ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ colonization ପରେ ଆମର ଯେମିତି there are some social issues, ସେମିତି Aryans they try to, because of their colonizations, they try to destroy everything of the original inhabitants of India. So you see, this is one of the basis for Dalit eschatology, you can say. Another basis you can talk of, this is they believe in this world, not on other world. This they believe in this world, not transcending the world. They do not believe in that other world. There might be other world. ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଏଇଠି ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ଅଛି, ଆ ବାହାରେ ମୁଁ ଯେମିତି କାମ କରୁଛି ଆକର୍ଡିଙ୍ଗଲି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଠିକି ମୁଁ କ'ଣ କରିବି, ଆଇଦର ମୁଁ ସେଠି ଗୋଟେ କରେଇରେ ବହୁତ ଗରମ ତେଲ ପଡ଼ିଛି, ତାକୁ ସେଠି ଡିପ୍ ଫ୍ରାଏ ହେଇଯିବି ଚିଙ୍ଗୁଡ଼ି ଭଳିଆ, ନହେଲେ ଗୋଟେ ବଢ଼ିଆ ପଦ୍ମ ଫୁଲ ଅଛି ସେମିତି ବସିବି। ଅଦର ୱାର୍ଲଡ ୱି ଇମାଜିନ୍ other world. So they do not believe in the other world, rather they are very assertive about this world. So this Dalit eschatology, you can say, it is a when you look at it from the philosophical perspective, you see that it is a combination of many philosophies. And you can say these Dalit people, they revolt against Brahmanic and religious teaching of the Hindus. They criticize that because the Hindus, they believe in life after death, they believe in spirituality, and they believe in the heaven and the hell concept. So there is dominance of the priest is there. So Dalit people, they revolt against these Brahmanic teachings and the religious practices of the Hindu, or of Hinduism, you can say. So there came another philosophy. Because of that reaction, you can say, there came another philosophy that is named as Charbak philosophy. Charbak philosophy, ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ୍ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲିଜିମ୍ ବୋଲି ବି ତାକୁ କୁହାଯାଏ, ତାକୁ ନାସ୍ତିକ ଶିରୋମଣି ବୋଲି ବି କୁହାଯାଏ। ଚାର୍ବାକ ମାନେ କ'ଣ, ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଲିଟରାଲ ମିନିଂ ଅଛି। ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍? ଚାରୁ ବାକ ଇତି ଚାର୍ବାକ. Charbak means sweet tongued, those who speak sweetly, those who give importance and enjoyment only, they are called as Charbak. Charu Baka iti Charbak. So the Charbak philosophy, they do not believe in. So in the Charbak philosophy, there are discussions in metaphysics that there is no God, there is no heaven, there is no hell, even hell is not there, even self is not there. So what is the reality for them? The only reality they talk of, that is the matter. Everything is matter, matter and matter only, and there is nothing besides matter. Okay, so they says that matter is only reality. They take only out of the, there are, we talk of ସବୁ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟେ ସାଧାରଣ କଥାରେ ବି ଆମେ କଥା କହୁ, କ'ଣ କଥା କହୁ? ଆମେ କହୁ ଯେ ଏଭ୍ରିଥିଙ୍ଗ ଇଜ୍ ଏ କମ୍ବିନେସନ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଆର୍ଥ, ୱାଟର, ଏୟାର, ଫାୟାର, ଇଥର। ପଞ୍ଚ ମହାଭୂତ ଯାକ ଆମେ କଥାରେ କହୁନା, ସେ ପଞ୍ଚ ମହାଭୂତରେ ବିଲୀନ ହେଇଗଲେ। So he is created out of that pancha mahabhuta. Again he he goes back to that pancha mahabhuta. Everything comes out of it, and finally everything will go back to it. This is how this is how we do talk of that. There is only five fundamental elements are there, and everything, the Charvakas, they says that everything is a combination, everything is a combination of that five elements. But they do not believe in one thing, they do not believe in ether element, ଆକାଶ ତତ୍ତ୍ୱରେ ସେମାନେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରୁନଥିଲେ। ତେଣୁ ସେ କହୁଥିଲେ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଆସୁଛି କୋଉଠି ନା ଚତୁର୍ତତ୍ତ୍ୱ। କାହାକୁ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କଲେ? ଆର୍ଥ, ୱାଟର, ଏୟାର, ଫାୟାର, এই ଚାରିଟାକୁ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କଲେ। ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ, ହ୍ୱାଟ ଏଭର ୟୁ ସି, ହ୍ୱାଟ ଏଭର ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ବିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ୟୁ କମ୍ ଆକ୍ରସ୍ ୱିଥ୍, it is a combination of, it is a various combination, permutation and combination of these four fundamental elements. Because why they rejected ether? Because they believe that ether is not perceived. Because ପ୍ରଥମରୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଗୋଟିଏ ଥିଲା ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପଲ୍. ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପଲ୍? ଯାହା ନୟନେ ପରତେ ନ ଯିବି, what I will see, what I will check, what will be known to me through my sense organs, that only I will accept, otherwise I will reject. So they do not perceive ether. So ether is not perceivable. Therefore they rejected ether, and they only accepted the four elements. Out of the different permutations and combinations, all the products are created. Even they deny consciousness. So what is the consciousness for them? Consciousness is nothing but a byproduct of matter. So kuch matter gote different combinations re consciousness produce heuchi. Consciousness is not something out of the realm of matter. ଯେମିତି ସେ କହୁଛି କେମିତି କନସିୟସନେସ୍ ହେଉଛି ନା, ଯେମିତି ତମେ ଖାଉଛ, ଗୋଟେ ପାନ ଖାଉଛ, ପାନରେ କ'ଣ ଅଛି? ଚୂନ ଗୋଟେ ଲଗା ହେଇଛି। ପାନର କଲରଟା କ'ଣ? ଗ୍ରୀନ୍। ଚୂନର କଲରଟା କ'ଣ? ହ୍ୱାଇଟ୍। ତା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଆଉ ଯାହା ଖଇର କି ଯାହା ଯାହା ତମର ପଡ଼ୁଥିବ ଇନଗ୍ରେଡ଼ିଏଣ୍ଟସ୍, ତାର କୌଣସିଟା କଲର ରେଡ୍ ନାହିଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ପାନ ଚୋବଉଛେ, ତାର ଯେଉଁ ଜୁସ୍ଟା ବାହାରୁଛି, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ରେଡ୍ ଇନ୍ କଲର. So if it is red in color, but that redness is not in the panna, not in the chuna, not in any ingredients, so how can you get it? Similarly, different permutations and combinations we get consciousness. So they define consciousness as a byproduct of matter. Okay, it is also from matter only. So what is about soul? Now this is that the soul is nothing, because they denied soul. For them, soul is nothing but a conscious living body. ଯେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ତମେ ବଞ୍ଚିଛ, ସେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ନା, that is called soul. As long as you are living, so long there is soul. So besides the body, besides the living body, there is no soul, or there is no spirit, you can say. So they denied soul, they denied spirit, they denied life after death. ସେ କହୁଛି death is the liberation. death ପରେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି, କେବଳ ତ ଏଇ ଗୋଟେ, ଯାବତ୍ ଜୀବେତ୍ ସୁଖଂ ଜୀବେତ୍ ଋଣଂ କୃତ୍ୟା ଘୃତଂ ପିବେତ୍, This is the only life. Let me enjoy the life. If I'll go for loan, let me go for loan, but enjoy with ghee. So you see, so that means they give importance for them. Past is gone, so don't brood over past. Future is highly uncertain, so don't waste your present for the sake of future. So concentrate only on the present, concentrate only on this life. So because there is no liberation, there is no rebirth, there is no heaven, there is no hell. So this is how they denied everything. Even they denied external cause. ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ କେମିତି ସୃଷ୍ଟି ହେଲା ନା ଭଗବାନ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କଲେ, କେମିତି ମୁଁ ଆସିଲି ନା ଭଗବାନ ମୋତେ ଆଣିଲେ. So we always gives the credit to some external cause. They even denied that external cause. They said that the the particles, the fundamental elements, पंच तत्व जो ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଚତୁର୍ଥ ତତ୍ୱକୁ ସେମାନେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରୁଥିଲେ, ତାହାର ଗୋଟେ inherent quality ଅଛି to come to closure with other elements, and they will produce certain things. So they denied eternal laws. They denied, they only give importance on present life, present situation, and they give importance that they are naturalism, they are accidentalism. ସେ କହୁଛି କ'ଣ ଗୋଟେ ଯେଉଁ ଯେଉଁ ତତ୍ତ୍ୱ ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଇଏ ତା ପାଖକୁ ଆସୁଛି, ସେ ତା ପାଖକୁ ଆସୁଛି, ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟ ତିଆରି ହେଉଛି, ସେଇଟା କ'ଣ ଆରେଞ୍ଜମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇଛି? ଆରେଞ୍ଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଯଦି ହବ ତାହେଲେ ତ ପୁଣି ଆମେ ଏକ୍ସଟର୍ନାଲ କଜ୍ ଉପରେ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡ କରିବା. ସେ କହୁଛି ନା, ତାର ନେଚର ଏମିତି, ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ କମ୍ କ୍ଲୋଜର and they will have different permutations and combinations, and there will be different products will be produced. So they denied the eternal laws, and they says that every event is a probability only. So they advocate for the theory of probability only. For them there is nothing internal. So they are called as Indian materialism and Indian classical materialism भी बोलते कुहाଯାଏ. ତାକୁ ନାସ୍ତିକ ଶିରୋମଣି କୁହାଯାଏ. ନାସ୍ତିକ ଶିରୋମଣି ଏଇ ସେନ୍ସରେ ନାସ୍ତିକ ଦର୍ଶନ ଆସ୍ତିକ ଦର୍ଶନ ଅଛି. ନାସ୍ତିକ ଦର୍ଶନ କାହାକୁ କୁହାହେଉଛି ନା ଜୈନିଜିମ୍, ବୁଦ୍ଧିଜିମ୍ ଆଉ କାହାକୁ କୁହାହେଉଛି? ଜୈନିଜିମ୍, ବୁଦ୍ଧିଜିମ୍ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ଚାରବାକକୁ କୁହାହେଉଛି. ଚାରବାକ ଏତେ ମାନେ ନାସ୍ତିକ ବେଦକୁ ଏତେ ବେଦ ନିନ୍ଦୁକ ତାଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯାଏ ବି. ମାନେ ଚାରବାକ ଏତେ ବେଦ ନିନ୍ଦୁକ, ସେମାନେ ବେଦକୁ ନିନ୍ଦା ଏତେ କରୁଥିଲେ ଯେ ଯୋଉଥିପାଇଁ ତାକୁ କୁହାଯାଏ କ'ଣ ନାସ୍ତିକ ଶିରୋମଣି ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଏ. So it is said that the historicity also tells you that it is as old as the Vedas. Even somewhere it is also mentioned that it came as prior to the Vedic philosophy, because they criticize the Vedas in that way. The Vedic gods, they says that they are very much anxious, they are very much thirsty about power, prominence, food, money, and many more things like that. Okay, so you see, even in the Vedas there are 33 कोटि देवता देवी कथा ଆମେ କହୁଛେ, and the priests are the cunning, they are very cunning, they are earning their livelihood in a very, by cheating the common people throughout the year. So this is that in the Vedic scriptures there is also Shraddha system is there. That means you are offering ପିଣ୍ଡଦାନ କରାହବ, you are offering food to your ancestors. ତାକୁ ସେ କାଟିକି କହୁଛି କ'ଣ ନା, କାଟିକି କହୁଛି ଯଦି ତମେ ଏମିତି ମାନେ କିଏ କୋଉଠି ଅଛି ଆମେ ଜାଣିନେ, ତାକୁ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଘରେ ଦେଇଦେଲେ ସେ ଖାଇଦେଉଛି, ତାହେଲେ ଯିଏ ଜର୍ଣ୍ଣି କରୁଛି ଯେତେବେଳେ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଖାଇବା ପ୍ୟାକ୍ କରିକି କାହିଁକି ଦିଆହେଉଛି? ତାକୁ ତ ଘରେ ଡାଇନିଂ ଟେବୁଲରେ ଖାଇବା ବାଢ଼ିଦେଲେ ସେ ଖାଇଦେବ, ତାକୁ ଯାଇକି ସେଠି ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ୟାକ୍ କରିକି ତା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କାହିଁକି ଦେଉଛେ? ଯେମିତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ମାନେ ସେ କହୁଛି ମାନେ I may get 100 birds in the bush, but for the sake of getting 100 birds, why should I sacrifice the present bird that is in my hand? So they are giving importance on present life, present moment, on the present, and they are discarding so life after death, जोटा वैदिक स्क्रिप्चर कुहाଯାଇଛି. वैदिक स्क्रिप्चर एते देवता देवीଙ୍କ କଥା କୁହାଉଛି, ଯୋଉଥିପାଇଁ କି ଚାରବାକ କହୁଛି କ'ଣ, ଇଟ୍ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ସ କନଫ୍ୟୁଜन, ଅଟର କନଫ୍ୟୁଜନ. ମୁଁ ଏଠି କନଫ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ହେଇଯିବି ଯେ ଆକୁ ପୂଜିବି ନା ତାକୁ ପୂଜିବି, କାହାକୁ ପୂଜିଲେ କ'ଣ ପାଇବି। ସୋ the Vedic gods, they are very much hungry or thirsty for power, property and prominence, food, money, etc. ଯେମିତି ତମେ କହୁଛ ପ୍ରୋପିସିଏଟ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତମେ କହୁଛ ଗଣେଶଙ୍କୁ ଲଡ଼ୁ ଦେଲେ ନା ସେ ମୋତେ ବଢ଼ିଆ ପାଠ ଦେବେ ବୋଲି ଯେଉଁ କହିଦେଉଛି। So we are giving bribes in that way. The Charvakas, it is not me, but the Charvakas, they are saying like this. So you see, even the priest, those who while doing rituals, they utter some mantras that is not intelligible to any common man. କୌଣସି ସାଧାରଣ ଲୋକ ସେ ମନ୍ତ୍ର କ'ଣ କହୁଛି ତାର ମାନେ ତାକୁ ବି ବୁଝା ହଉନି। ଇଭିନ୍ ବହୁତ ଉପନିଷଦରେ ବି କୁହାହଉଛି, ଦେଖାଉଛି ଡଗ୍ ମାନେ ଲାଇନ୍ କରିକି ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଓମ୍ କହିକି ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, ବିକଜ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ନଟ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟେଲିଜିବଲ୍। ସେମିତି ଆମର ମାଣ୍ଡୁକ ସୂକ୍ତରେ ବି କୁହାହଉଛି ଯେ ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକ ସବୁ ବେଙ୍ଗ ବୋବେଇଲେ ଯେମିତି ଶୁଣାଯାଏ, ଯେମିତି ଶବ୍ଦ ଆସିବ, ଇଏ ସେମିତିଆ ଶବ୍ଦ ଆସୁଛି। ସ୍ୱାହା ଗୋଟେ ଲାସ୍କୁ ବଡ଼ ପାଟିରେ କରୁଥିବ, ସେଇଟା ସେମିତି ବେଙ୍ଗ ବୋବେଇଲା ଭଳି ଶୁଣାଉଛି। So they developed their philosophy on certain they developed their philosophy that must be intelligible, that must be understandable to all the common people. That is their purpose. ଯୋଉଥିପାଇଁ ଲୋକ ତା ଫିଲୋସଫିର ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ନାଁ ହେଲା ଲୋକାୟତ ଦର୍ଶନ। ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଆୟତରେ, ଲୋକମାନେ common people. So it must be reached to the common people. The common people must understand it. This is the basis for the Dalit people are influenced by this eschatology, you can say. So another basis is that of Charvakas. They are called naturalists because they believe I have already told you the fundamental elements, they have the natural inherent property to come together to produce this. And they are also swabha, they are also they for that they are called swabhavavadi. Again they are natural properties, they are at the same time they are called accidentalism. କାରଣ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଡିଜାଇନ୍ ହେଇକି ନାହିଁ, ପ୍ରି ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ନାହିଁ, ଏ ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଖକୁ ଆସିବ, ଏ ଜିନିଷ ହେବ, ଯଦି ହେବ ଏଗେନ୍ ୱିଲ୍ ଆଡଭୋକେଟ୍ ଫର୍ ଏକ୍ସଟର୍ନାଲ୍ କଜ୍ which they are criticizing. So they are saying that accidentally they come together and accidentally thing is produced. Okay, so that materialist feature you can find out in the Dalit eschatology, or you can say that in the Dalit eschatology you can see that materialistic feature, because repeatedly I am saying that there is no Dalit religion as such. It is influenced. The so-called religion, if anybody can claim, it is influenced by the other religions. Like the religion and the different philosophies, like the philosophy of Charvak, or religion and philosophy, whatever you like, you can say Buddhism, Jainism and Sikhism, they that influenced the eschatology, and they believe in this physical world. They give all these philosophies, or the religions, Buddhism, Jainism, and you talk about Sikhism, they all believe in this world, and accordingly the Dalit eschatology also believe in this world. And in the Dalit eschatology there is importance is given to the individual and his comfort. Okay, because they believe in this life, one life. So just like Charbak, they also give importance to the individual and his comfort. Okay, Javat Jivet, Sukham Jivet, Runam Krutva, Vrutam Pivet. God is non-existence for them, no pre-existence, or you can say that no afterlife or no salvation. Happiness is the goal of life. Life is lead happily live as long as one lives. So in order to live happily, in order to live very uh, in a very lighter vein, we need some music, some erotic, some medicines. They are the means for good and healthy life. So we have to କାରଣ ସବୁ ଗୋଟେ ଦେଖିବ ସବୁ ସେମିନାର ହବ ଗୋଟେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ ହବ ତାପରେ ଟିକେ ରିଲାକ୍ସ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କି ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ ଏସବୁ ଥିବ ସେ କହୁଛି ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ ମେଡିସିନ୍ they are also required for the good life and the healthy life and they should be there so these things should be pursued that so the Dalit eschatology it is also influenced by happiness and comfort as the two hallmarks of human existence and you know in Vedic philosophy there is a very we give much more importance on the chastity of women women ମାନଙ୍କର ଚରିତ୍ର ଗଠନ ଉପରେ ବହୁତ importance ଦିଆଯାଏ କିନ୍ତୁ Dalit philosophy, Dalit eschatology, and particularly in Charvak philosophy, you can say these are simply useless because both men and women they are alike as long as they live. So both, if it is about chastity, it is not only about the chastity of woman. Both men and women uh, can maintain their moral dignity. You can maintain their time for character building. So you can say that so the ideologies, different ideologies and principles, there are different ideologies and principles that arrange their way of life and give meaning to them. Okay, so with this, ଟିକେ ପାଣି ଟିକେ ପିଇବି it's time, my I'm unable to complete. This is an important unit, that's why I give so much importance. So, you know, there are certain basic features of Dalit eschatology. So, when we talk about this Dalit eschatology, it gives importance on community life and community harmony, then religious, divine religion intervention or divine intervention. They learn good and bad in terms of morality and immorality from the family itself the it is not conscious of other world divine or spiritual it believes in materiality and temporality that is rooted in the historical and spatial continuum of the Dalit. So the concept of God is introduced in the form of moon, sun, or other natural objects which have their close connection with their life and livelihood. ଆପଣ ଆମ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଗୋଟେ କମ୍ୟୁନିଟି ଅଛନ୍ତି you'll be surprised to know that ସେମାନେ ରାତିରେ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ପୂଜା କରନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଯଦି ପଚରାଯିବ why you are worshipping sun at night ନା because you know ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଦିନରେ କିରଣ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି he is very much busy in his doing his job so we should not disturb while one is in duty so ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ରାତିରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ପୂଜା କରୁଛୁ so you know ତାଙ୍କର ସେଥିରେ କୌଣସି ଟେମ୍ପଲର ଗୋଟେ definite place definite form ଏ concept ବି ନାହିଁ gods goddesses and gods they are available in all forms and in all spaces so by that they are admitting the omnipresence of god or goddesses they believe in atma or spirit କୋଉ ସେନ୍ସରେ ନା ଡେଡ୍ ପିପୁଲ୍ ଦେ କମ୍ ବ୍ୟାକ୍ ଟୁ ରିଲିଭ୍ ଧର ସେମାନେ ଭୋକିଲା ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେ ପ୍ରପର୍ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଖାଇନାହାନ୍ତି ସେଥିପାଇଁ କି ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ କମ୍ ବ୍ୟାକ୍ ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ ରିଲିଭ୍ ୱିଥ୍ ଅସ୍ ହେଲ୍ ଆଉ ହେଭେନ୍ they that that do not exist at all for them hell is if they will get a sumptuous meal a day that is their heaven and if they will not get food that is their hell so there is no priest between them and their gods এটা ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ vital point କାରଣ ଆମ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ middle man ହେଉଛି priest between the devotee and the divine ସେଇ ପ୍ରକାର middle manship ତାଙ୍କ କଲଚରରେ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ମିଳିବ ନାହିଁ from real life situations ideal heroes and heroines emerge ତାଙ୍କୁ ବି ସେମାନେ ପୂଜା କରନ୍ତି କାରଣ ମୁଁ ଅଲରେଡ଼ି କହିସାରିଛି ଯେଉଁ ରିଅଲ ଲାଇଫ୍ ସିଚୁଏସନରେ ସେମାନେ କିଛି ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖିଥିବେ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଆଇଡ଼ିଆଲ they also worship them they also give them the status of gods and goddess and the very important thing nowadays we are so much there is feminists shouting slogans, and because that you will never find in case of in the Dalit family. That is no discrimination between male and female, no discrimination between boy and girl. The work structure, even you talk about the work structure, the work is not also divided on that. Even the man can cook, the woman can cook, the man can look after, the woman can look after the children. So there is no gender gap, there is no gender discrimination you can find out in the Dalit community, in the Dalit family also. So they believe in only one life, that is the heavenly bliss on earth. We can get this heavenly bliss here and now. We can get this heavenly bliss jaha ko ame koche heaven, that we can get in this earth only, in this life only. So they do not believe there is no, ଯେମିତି ଆମର ଗୀତା ପୁରାଣ ରାମାୟଣ ଭଗବତ ମହାଭାରତ ଭାଗବତ ସବୁ ଅଛି, ସେମାନଙ୍କର କୌଣସି ସେମିତି ରିଲିଜିୟସ୍ ଟେକ୍ସଟ ନାହିଁ କି ସାକ୍ରେଡ୍ ବୁକ୍ ନାହିଁ। ତାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲିରୁ ସେମାନେ ଯେଉଁ ପଢ଼ିଛନ୍ତି ଯେଉଁ କଥା, that they practiced, and they believe in that morality they believe in by conducting some productive work, so that their eschatology, you can say, it is humanistic in nature, it is productive eschatology, you can say. So in the on the other way you can say that death for them, death is the end of everything, and they also celebrate death with pomp and show. And you can say that the Dalit eschatology, it is a very dynamic concept. It is also growing and constantly changing with new ideologies. Okay. तो पढ़ेलानी any doubt? Any doubt? अरे शेफाली कौन किसी कहब? आउ जो गुड़ा अच्छे मुझे गुड़ा प्रायतः कवर कर देछे ना ये डिस्कशन रे. I have already told you all these things. Okay. Shefali, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ आउ जहाँ भी तमर अच्छी सोड़ा मु सब एथिरे कहि देछि ऑलरेडी. I have communicated to you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Anything you want to ask me?
Ma'am, actually problem कोन कहले मो आडू टिके प्रॉब्लम हे जी मु टिके क्लास एक्चुअली टाइम रे जतोल स्टार्ट हितला मु टिके करि पर नथली एबे स्टार्ट हला रो क्लास छी मु पाउ टिके नोटिफिकेशन आसला बेलकू 4:30 अराउंड हे जाउची तो मते लेट हे जाउची जॉइन करिया.
नहीं नहीं शुणु हाँ ठीक अच्छे रेकर्डटा बोधे आपण पाखु जाऊथिबो आपण सेटा सुनी देबे हैला. आउ
आगे
आउ 25 तारीख दिन क्लास अच्छी तेणु आपण 4टा रे जॉइन कर जिवे हैला.
ओके ओके मैम
25 तारीख अच्छी 26 तारीख अच्छी 26 तारीख मु आउट ऑफ स्टेट थी कि तथे मु सेठी पहुंच के क्लास नेबी 4टा रो दैट आई
ठीक है
प्रॉमिस.
मैम.
हैला 25
आगे
तारीख और
मैम थैंक
26 तारीख दीटा का आपण ठीक समय रे जॉइन कर जिवे. आउ जहाँ जहाँ अच्छे हमें तक टिके डिस्कस कर दो हैला. ठीक
ओके
अच्छे
मैम. एक्चुअली मैम जो लिंक टा कराउची
कौन कहला?
हम जो लिंक रे हमको जॉइन करार अछि आपन क्लास सपोज जे लिंक टा माने
हम्म
पर डे अलगा अलगा लिंक आछि ना आपन
नहीं
तो
नहीं 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 सेम लिंक
हम आज जो लिंक रे
सेम.
जॉइन करली सेटा 25 रे जॉइन करले भी आसीबो.
हाँ सेम लिंक इट इज शेयर सेम लिंक इज शेयर ना
ओके मैम
है
ठीक
ना.
अछि
ठीक
मैम.
है
आज्ञा
ओके थैंक
थैंक
यू
यू
थैंक यू.
थैंक यू मैम.